everyone, I'm Little McGriddle, and welcome back to another episode of Zombie Exodus. Also, sadly, today is literally, officially my last day of high school. I honestly don't know how I'm feeling. Well, I'm kind of feeling sad because this is it. I'm officially done high school after today. I just gotta graduate and do it, all that stuff. What really gets me is that I should be happy, but I'm feeling a little down. Voice crack, sorry. Saddest thing about it is that I ain't got no friends to say goodbye to after this. Anyway, let's just get right into the story. The couple stands before you, awaiting an answer. The woman's hand extended in a sign of pleading. The winds have picked up and cooled the summer air. Exhausted from the long day on the field vessels, you long for rest, but before you stand two complete strangers seeking shelter, and this must be dealt with. You raise your flashlight and aim the beam between them as a narrow stream of light defends you. The man steps forward and lowers his hood, then raises his open hands to the side. He has a well-trimmed beard, flat brown hair, and tan, dirt-covered skin. His wide smile shows rows of perfect teeth, which distracts you from thinking of how to react. As he takes another step, his coat shrugs up and the edge of a leather sheath pokes through the clothing. He catches your stare and stops. "It's just a simple knife. We mean you no harm. We are only here for shelter," he says. As he speaks, you hear rustling from behind. It must be Carl coming up the path. Check behind us, just to make sure if it's Carl or not. What is going on? You rotate your body only enough to see the path behind you. Carl is sprinting up the stone steps only a few dozen feet away. You turn back to the strangers, who have not moved but stand at the foot of the cathedral steps, hands raised and smiling. I don't know if I trust these strangers. That guy has a knife. For all I could know is that they're lying and they're not just here to seek shelter. Carl runs up behind you with his pistol raised. The wind is picked up, blowing into your face, and the cool air awakens you. "We are here seeking shelter. Please, we mean no harm," the woman says, now focused her plea on Carl. "Sorry, but we're not a hotel," he answers. He waves the pistol back and forth in an arc to indicate the cathedral as he speaks. The cathedral doors open and Tom steps outside with Emma and Heather behind him. "What's going on?" Tom asks in a booming voice. His right hand hovers a bit above a pistol in a belt holster. The two strangers turn to face Tom and maintain raised hands. "We are two peaceful travelers seeking shelter in this cathedral," the man says. "We understand the reluctance to take in new people," the woman says, her voice bold and lifted high as if speaking to a crowd. We will contribute to the group and not cause any trouble. We just seek refuge." The group is silent. Tom looks back and forth between you and Carl, then to the two strangers. "Let's all move inside to discuss this. It's too dangerous out here," Tom states and steps back to clear a path through the entrance. The two strangers smile and walk up the stone steps. The woman wraps her arms around her body like she is hurt, but smiles wide and steps sideways through the open doorway. Carl shakes his head and mutters under his breath, slipping his pistol back into its holster. You follow inside. Now, I'm just gonna say that I think this is a bad idea. I don't think that they should let these strangers in. In the sanctuary, the group is gathered with the two strangers sitting at the middle, so it appears as a job interview with current employees surrounding the new applicants. First off, I am River. River song? River? Oh my god! And this is my partner, Star, says the man. "Oh, you're a dude. Okay, it's not River song." His hands folded on his lap and leg crossed over the knee with one foot dangling loosely. "We have been here many times before. St. Joseph's Cathedral is near and dear to us." Tom explains how he and Carl purchased the cathedral and how the group came to live here and convert it to a safe house. He then introduces everyone. Most of the survivors greet River and Star with smiles and handshakes. Carl sits slumped in his chair, bottom lip protruding like an angry toddler. I just want to make my voice concerned at accepting new people here. No offense, you seem like a nice couple, but for all we know you could be a part of a bandit group coming here to find our weaknesses. That's a fair assumption, Star says. Her smile seemed to burst the sides of her mouth should it grow any larger. But we are willing to prove ourselves and gain trust. We can be huge assets. Well, where's your stuff? Heather asks bluntly. She sits on the edge of the chair, legs bouncing and ankles twitching. Our stuff, responds River, his face scrunched. Yeah, you walking from the forest with just clothes on your backs? How did you survive with nothing, no food, water, or gear? River and Star look at each other and gesture signs that they are unsure how to respond. Finally, River shrugs and nods. We didn't know what to expect coming here, so we hid our stuff until we knew it was safe. We've been robbed before, so this time we took precautions. Heather nods her head and sits back in the chair. And how do you think you can help us? Asks Uncle Lou, his Italian-American accent seeming thicker than most days. Ooh. I'm a doctor and River is a metalsmith. We can make an immediate impact here, answers Star. Ah, I thought you would be a blacksmith. The faces of your group reveal their interest as piqued. Still, Carl's words are sensible, and you can't help but wonder if these are incredible actors sent to gather information and report back to a hostile group. They're actors, man, you are doing a pretty damn good job. Our group is a democracy, and I see no other way to decide on whether to let you join or not than to vote. I will ask that you step into the side room and wait for our decision, Tom states. Carl escorts the pair to the sanctuary and returns moments later with the same disturbed look on his face. Where did you put them, Carl? Asked Tom. I locked them in the chapel. I didn't know what else to do, but wasn't going to let them alone to roam around. Candace stands up, her cheeks turning red and lines in her face stretched tighter. I'm embarrassed at how we are acting. These are our guests. We are treating them like bandits. I know we have to be cautious, but interrogating them, locking them up, is mean-spirited. Well, why don't we make a big feast and give them massages, says Heather, throwing her hands up. We don't know them, and we can't take in every refugee that crosses our path. This isn't apocalypse welfare. It would be nice to have a doctor, though, and that dude can help make us bullets and other gear, states Jason. Candace flashes him a smile. Well, it is late, and Carl and Chloe are exhausted from the trip. Let's get to the vote before we do so. Does anyone have anything else they want to add to the discussion? Asked Tom. Ugh. Okay then. Do we either reject the strangers or remain silent and vote to accept the strangers? Well, I mean, I think it would throw off balance. And maybe the strangers are bandits and they're just gathering information. Okay. I vote to reject the strangers. Tom steps into the front of the group's semicircle. Please raise your hand if you think River and Star should be allowed to join. You keep your hand down and glance around the other survivors. Heather, Carl, and Mindy have their hands down as well. Tom crosses his hands behind his back. Jason looks at Candace and keeps his hand down. Uncle Lou raises his hand but only to scratch his chin. Ha! Ah! Well, it seems that we won't be inviting River and Star to join us. The group rises and heads together through the sanctuary to the small chapel to the south. All is somber while walking, and you realize this decision may well affect the ability of this couple to survive in this new world. Carl opens the door. Inside, Star and River sit in a wooden pew facing the altar, but stand as you enter. We are sorry, but at this time we cannot invite you two to join us, Tom states. River and Star are disappointed by the decision, but realizing the choice is final, they bid everyone good luck in the future and head outside and back into the old pine woods. The next hour is a blur as you take part in transferring the fuel from the boat to the cathedral through a human relay system. Your whole body aches and sleep calls to you, but securing the valuable liquid commodity is surely necessary. Luckily, no bandits or zombies show up. Tom waives a debriefing meeting tonight and tells you to get some rest. You stumble upstairs and into your room where you collapse into bed. Every joint and muscle feels numb. A layer of sweat, grease, and dirt coats your skin. but you barely have the energy to raise your arms, let alone scrub your body clean. As you face plant into bed and your eyes drift closed, you hear movement outside and loud voices, but the sound of laughter reassures you all is fine, and the world can go without you. Oh? What? Progress saved. Continuing. July 10th, 2012. A shooting pain in your left arm startles you awake. Your eyes pop open and you stare at the twisted face of terror looking down at you. Oh my god, what? Half man, half zombie. His face cut down the middle to demarcate the two sides. The zombie portion is dark and leathery with huge folds of extra skin tightened across the face like a drum. He drools across your cheek. The zombie eye is void of an iris, but a solid strip of black which moves amoeba-like while he hovers over your prone body. Lights flicker in the background overhead and bathe them in a black light of orange. The zombie's sides of the mouth quivers, and he opens it wide. You expect a growl, but he mouths the words, "Join us." Oh, god damn. Is this a dream? You stare in horror at the visage, but don't recognize the face. The human side is older with bulging features like his head has been compressed in vice. Brown locks of hair hang down, matted and thick. He yanks your left arm and drags you across the room, a plain white box with tiled floors and blank walls. Pins and needles radiate through the held limb. You struggle, but the half-zombie's grip is like steel. Up ahead is a metal chair with leather straps and metal hooks for restraining, and a spotlight hovers over a side table where lies a solitary syringe filled with green, bubbling liquid. You are thrown into the chair, and though you fight for control, the chair locks your limbs in place instantly. The spotlight shifts to your naked body, and a cool breeze flows past your flesh. The half-zombie lifts the syringe and places it over your chest. "This is the way you survive," it says, and plunges the needle down. Ugh. Ugh. You sit up in bed and you scan the room. While you knew it was a dream, you still question the reality as you awaken. Your left arm is numb on one side, and you clench your fist to force it alive. A knock on the door hammers your head, and though you've had no alcohol, you feel the effects of a hangover. Tight forehead, unfocused vision, foul taste in your mouth, aching muscles. With the next knock, you call out, "Come in." The door swings open, and Tom takes a step inside. Through bleary eyes, you can still see his countenance as a look of remorse, like he has a terrible news and no way to end it, or to say it. He nods to you with a smile. "Join us in the gathering in 5. We're discussing your trip to get fuel and plans for the future." Huh? More fuel? Are you fucking serious? With that news, he steps out and closes the door. You stand and look over your body, still covered in filth from yesterday's mission. Showers are not possible now, a pure luxury as you conserve water, but you head to the common bathroom down the hall to wash up. You clean the wounds you sustained and scrub off the oil, grease, and dirt from the rest of your skin. The whole group sits in the gathering, surrounding the central table. You spot a seat next to Emma and plop down beside her. Next to Tom is an easel with his whiteboard on it. "Chloe, why don't you give us a brief description of your trip to the fuel vessels?" You provide a condensed report on the fuel vessels, the zombies aboard, your encounter with Richard Laurent, and the difficulty of offloading the fuel. Everyone seems impressed with your success on the mission and is appreciative of the much-needed resource. Good, you better be, because that took me 2 recordings to finally get done. And almost a dead voice. "We're all glad you returned safely, too," says Tom and steps beside the whiteboard. "Here we have the current status of resources. Water 16, days until ZE. What, they forget? Oh shit. Fuel is good for now. Medicine is low. Energy 16 days. Food 26 days. And water 16 days. We are not sure of zombie exodus anymore. From Jason's contacts on SurfNet, large masses of the living dead have already pushed out the cities and are diffusing through the suburbs. As they find victims, the food strengthens them to continue their march. It appears less than 3 to 4 weeks before Temperance fills up an undead filter to our area. But before we discuss the exodus further, let's go down the list and see where we're at. You are used to Tom's meetings and the thorough detailing of supplies, chores, and events at the cathedral. Your mind drifts as you listen, and you focus on his speech. Don't get distracted. You sit up in your chair, rub your eyes, and focus on listening. Tom points to the first line of the supply list. water. Water is not an immediate need, but we will have to consider it for the near future. Next, Tom points to the line reading food. We have enough food for all of us for a few weeks. Tom points to the line marked energy. Thanks to Chloe and Carl, our generator is diesel and can supply us with energy for the next few weeks. We also have fuel for our vehicles, though we still are in a state of conservation. Well, really, it was Chloe, says Jason, muttering loud enough till the whole room can hear. What? Asked Tom. All heads turn to Jason, with a guilty look of someone who just stole something. He takes his baseball cap off his head and turns it around backward and slips it back on. I just mean Chloe did it all. Carl drove a boat. Not exactly tag-teaming the mission, Jason adds and folds his arms. Carl stands and points across the table. And what do you do? Talk to other geeks on a computer. What have you contributed since we got here? Hey, I've done a fair bit of research that has given us useful information. Tom raises his hands as if a referee keeping fighters apart. Okay, no need to argue about who has done more or less. Let's move on, Tom says. Carl nods and sits back at his spot at the table. Tom glances at the board and his hands point to the medicine line. Medicine is in short supply again. We have painkillers, but most of the prescription meds are running out. We can see if Eugene can spare any meds. Ready for a trip back to Temperance, Miller? Mindy stands. If that's an option, it may be the only one, Tom states. Since we've already discussed fuel, the only thing left to discuss is zombie exodus. Based on what Jason has learned and our resources, I see only two options. We all stay here, prepare over the next month to lock this place down and weather the coming invasion of the undead. Or we pack up and move out to other, less populated areas of the country. I don't want any opinions now, but we'll meet soon to discuss our options, and everyone can provide their vote. Chloe, you have the day off. This meeting is adjourned. Let's get to work. Nice. Alright then. Yay, the day off. As the meeting ends, stand and watch the survivors head out of the room. Heather, Emma, Candace, and Mindy head towards the second floor stairs exit, while Tom heads toward his office. Uncle Lou starts cleaning up the spots on the stove. Jason walks to the door of the sanctuary and you see Carl watching his motion and then follow him out. We'll talk to Mindy. You find Mindy in the supply room, checking the equipment and weapons on the various shelves and writing on a clipboard. Her hair is growing longer so it hangs in wisps around her face, and the back is held in by a bunch of large black clip. She makes strange faces at the weapons like she is somehow judging them. The assault rifle gets an exasperated sigh, with the MP5 submachine gun gets a huge nod and smile like a long-lost buddy just walked into a bar. Hey there, Miller. You... Yes, ask about what the hell is going on with Jason and Candace's relationship. What? Wait a minute. Okay then. She breathes out a long, slow stream of air and squints her eyes as if in a momentary bout of pain. It's more than friendship, she blurts out. Between you and me, they're getting out of hand. Way too close. Things are with Candace and Carl aren't great, but it's the start of an apocalypse. And she's spending her time going back and forth between Carl and Jason. It's crazy, and we all have more to worry about than love triangles. Oh, love triangles are the worst. That seems to be as much as she's willing to talk about the subject, so you ask her feelings on zombie exodus. She looks up from a row of small firearms and turns to you. With the info we have, it would be stupid to stay here. We can dig in and try to defend this place, but it's only a matter of time before we're overwhelmed. Zombies swarming this area may not break through our doors, but if we can't leave, how long can we survive on the food we have? Not very long. So I say we get out of here ASAP. Head toward the central U.S. where populations were low before the outbreak. Personally, I don't care what Tom decides. I'm figuring out what I can carry in the supplies that are most valuable, and then I'm splitting. Oh my god, same! Me and Emma are doing that exact same thing. She turns back to the weapons and starts making notations on her list. Well, I guess we have no choice to end this conversation. You tell Mindy you'll see her later, and she just nods and you walk out the door. You head back toward your room and hear commotion from below. The sounds of shouting and hurried movement flow from the first door. You spot Heather at the bottom of the stairs and she runs up to you. You're not going to believe this. Carl and Jason got into a fight. Carl beat him up bad. Jason's unconscious and was twitching. Your sister went in there to help. I think they fought over Candace. Of course they did. You head downstairs with Heather. From the gathering, Emma wheels out a long platform and truck on which Jason lays. He is unconscious and blood flows from deep lacerations on his face. His breathing is rapid and wheezing. Mindy helps guide the hand truck with Emma. As they turn toward the infirmary, you see Tom leading Carl out of the gathering. Carl has blood on his hands and his shirt is torn at the collar with blood splattered over the clean white collar. His head hangs, but brow is furrowed and jaw clenched in anger. They walk past you up the stairs. Let's get back to work, people, Tom calls down. The crowd of survivors heads their own way, and you stand alone at the bottom of the stairs. I must check on Candace. You step toward Candace's room, and though the door is closed, you hear shuffling inside. You knock. Who is it? Chloe. What do you want? She asks in a calm tone. I just came to check on you and make sure you're all right. The door opens and Candace stands aside to let you enter. Her eyes are soaked with tears and face is red and blotchy. The room is disheveled with clothes thrown about, furniture overturned or broken. A suitcase lies in the corner with items piled upon it. She sees you looking around the room and starts to clear away broken pieces of a nightstand. When I heard about the fight, I got a bit crazy. Started to make my aggression out on the room. Now I'm cleaning up. She speaks matter-of-factly as if detailing a shopping trip and going over things she bought. When she turns and bends to place a sweater in the suitcase, her shirt lifts back, revealing a pistol tucked in her jeans. As she works, you have time to ask, "What have you got a pistol for?" She stands up quickly and pulls her shirt down and back, covering the pistol. Protection, just like everyone else here. Everyone should have a gun in case of trouble. All right. Is it protecting you from Carl? She stares at you, blinks hard several times, and scrunches her face like your words caused her pain. I don't know. I just feel better having it. Candace sits on the edge of the bed and looks down at a portion of quiet quilt lying beneath her. She runs her index finger over deep folds in the material. When I first met Carl, I was working as a bartender at a restaurant, and he was working on renovating the banquet room. I never would have gone for a guy like him. Quiet, serious, not shy, but, well, you know what I mean. She hikes her legs up to her chest and wraps her arms around her shins. Every day he came and talked to me for like every break he had. I wasn't trying to lead him on, but he was nice to talk to, and I was also concerned about me, about how I'm doing, asking about my day and stuff. I had been in some crappy relationships, and they never lasted more than 6 months. Guys just winded up turning into jerks. Carl was different. He cared about me, really hard from the first day we met. She pauses, resting her head on her knees. When I finally broke down and went on a date with him, it was just, I could tell he was really into me, and for whatever reason, I liked it. I liked knowing he would do anything for me, and I never had to worry about him cheating on me or using me. God damn it. I hate guys like that. How many of you out there feel the same way? She drops her knees down and stretches her legs on the bed. He always tried to move things along fast, like he wanted me to move into his house after a few weeks. He got me an engagement ring up just after 2 months. I never accepted, and he never got mad or disappointed. He just waited and would eventually ask again. But then the outbreak happened, and he was living at the cathedral, and I was still in the city. Everything with him got stronger. He would call me every second, telling me he had to get out of the city. When we finally got to the cathedral, he never wanted to leave my side. He wanted me in our room, or with him. It was like he wanted to protect me, but not from some zombies, but from everyone else. He didn't want to share me. Tom finally talked to him, and Carl backed off for a bit, but over the past month, it just kept getting worse again. And with the friendship I have with Jason, I know Jason likes me, and I do have feelings for him, but I would be perfectly happy with Carl if he just let me be. Didn't protect me so much. He didn't keep me locked up with a feeling. If I talk to certain people or do something, he doesn't like that, and he will punish me for it. I just can't keep going on like this. And now after the fight with Jason, I'm just through with it all. She stands and returns to packing from more into the suitcases. I'm not going to ask her why she's packing because we probably already know the answer. So I'm going to end it. You say goodbye to Candace and step into the hallway. What do you do next? I'm going to clean up Jason's area in the sanctuary. The sanctuary is in a state of disarray. Jason's computers remain on, though his main keyboard lies on the ground. His leather chair is overturned and printed pages are scattered around the floor. Blood stains the marble floors. You collect the fallen papers and place them back on the desk and arrange the monitors into position. You lift the leather chair and wipe a collection of crumbs off of it. Next to the PC tower, you see a half-eaten oatmeal cookie. Somehow drops of blood reach the tower and speckles the plastic case. As you replace the keyboard on the table, you hit the spacebar and all the monitors come to life. You blink from the sudden glow and your eyes cross plans for the field rig you visited a few days ago. You glance at the brightly lit screen and peruse the blueprints with notes related to the numbers of zombies aboard, the docking area, and other details of boarding the ship and the path toward the field area. Much of this information was summarized and provided to you by Carl and Tom. On a monitor, a text-based game, Unnatural, plays across the screen. Looking through more screens, you review advanced temperance records that appear to be from City Hall, lots of supplies, and itemized inventories of resources at Cathedral. So much information is held on the system. You wonder if it is worth the time to review more or move on to other tasks. Just keep cleaning, you know. You do a quick cleaning of the area and rearrange the equipment before heading off. Realizing you still haven't spoken to Tommy, you decide to pay him a visit. As you enter the office, Tom is pacing, hands on his hips, a look of anger on his face. I can't believe this happened. Carl really screwed up, and now we're down another person. A vital member of our group that helped us communicate with the few outsiders still left to give us updates on the zombie exodus. He grabs a bottle of vodka off a shelf and takes a heavy drink, tilting the half-full bottle until it spills from the corner of his mouth. He brings the bottle away and coughs hard, then wipes his mouth with his shirt sleeve. I have Carl upstairs in one of the empty rooms. I locked him in since I have no idea what to do about him. The rest of our group won't feel comfortable with him released. They won't feel safe, but he still can be useful to us. He sits down behind his desk. For the first time since maybe this thing started, I have no idea what to do, and he won't talk to me. He will only talk to you. I figured he must have bonded when traveling to the field vessel, so that's why he asked for you. Go find out what he wants and come talk to me when you're finished. Maybe it'll help me decide what to do. You nod and step out of his office, and the only sound you hear is the distinct swish of liquid in a bottle pouring into a glass. Tom, my God, are you okay? What do you do next? I guess I have to visit Carl. Carl is being held in a dorm room upstairs furthest from the occupied rooms. The floorboards creak in the dark hall as you move closer to the heavy wooden door. A metal bar crosses the doorway, held up by strong wooden hooks, which prevent the door from swinging outward. You pause at the edge of the hallway and hear Carl's voice from inside. Chloe, is that you? Yes. Thanks for coming. I guess this isn't how you expected your day to go. You reply with, why did you attack Jason? There is a long pause and you hear faint breathing on the other side of the door. He was trying to sleep with Candace. I suspected their affair for a while. That's why I fought with Candace so much. She denied it, but after confronting Jason this morning, all I could see was red, and I looked at his face. All I have done for this group, for Candace, I just couldn't take it anymore, but there is a reason I asked to speak to you. Carl clears his throat and takes a deep breath. I know Tom won't allow me to remain part of the group anymore. I want out of here. I want you to open the door and help me get to the supply room. Then I'll leave here by myself. What? No. I figured you'd say that, but the reason I asked to speak to you is because I have information you want to know. Something vital with your survival. And if you help me out here, I'll tell you what I know. Okay, I'll help you. Great, here's what I know. From the first time you stepped foot in the cathedral, Tom has had it out for you. Didn't it seem strange you were always asked to go on the dangerous missions? Always put at risk? He wants you out of here. Felt threatened by you, but you keep succeeding.
Do you want to ride?
Oh, crap. Hi.
Do you want to ride? Or are you going to school or anytime soon?
Yeah, I am. Just give me a minute. Sorry.
Okay.
But you keep succeeding and going to Temperance with Mindy. The depot with Javier, you expected never return. In the field missions, you went alone. He even suggested I leave you there. But the feud was too important, so now you know the truth. Having heard what Carl had to say to you, alright, we're going to help him to escape. But sadly, I am going to have to leave this here. I know it's a short episode, but as you see the little disturbance, I'm going to be having to leave now. So thank you for watching this one. If you enjoyed it, hit that button down below. And like always, I will catch you all in